Now over here I have been busy. As you can see, I've got 3 door handles that are being repaired. Now the passenger side rear was actually okay. I'll just show you this. That is basically what the plastic... Oh no, that's not the right one. Where is it? It's not that one, it's this one. Yeah. Now this is going to be resprayed because I'm afraid the paint is just coming off quite a bit. So I've got some Starlight Silver and I'm going to do it up properly. I'm probably just going to give it a key and then we'll give it some a couple of coats and some clear lacquer. It's coming this week. But anyway, no, that's not the one. That is what it's supposed to look like, all these plastic fins. That is exactly what's missing on the other one on the other side. But unfortunately, I've had to put Gorilla Glue in this. Now, my top tip is very simple. What you have to do is get a tap. If you've got a tap and die set, I would suggest that you get a tap and die. And I've done this with all of them, by the way. I have used a combination, by the way, of Gorilla Glue and Owlite. I'll just show you this one. Okay, that's quite strong now. Owlite is quite good. It's a 2-part epoxy and Gorilla Glue as well. Even though Gorilla Glue, I think, has got more give in it. Now, what I've done is I've put this through a tap and die set. So I've used the die pieces to clean up the threads on this. And I've used a tap to clean the threads of the brass insert. Because if you think about it, and this is half the problem, when you're screwing this back into the car, if this goes stiff because the threads are dirty, what's going to happen is this is just going to spin and break away from the plastic. And that's your problem. That's why these handles break, because literally the thread gets stiff, someone tries to tighten them up, and then they just spin around, or even spin, come out and break the plastic at the same time, and then you're left with a broken door handle again. So you've got to make sure, look at that. That's how free it's got to be. They've all got to be this free. This one, and then this one I used more Gorilla Glue on, but basically, there we go. They are now all ready to go back in, he says. I won't film putting them back in unless I encounter problems, and I'll do it as a bloggy update. But I thought I would sort of update you on this, and I've got just a few bits and pieces sitting there. What I have discovered is that there was a screw that held in one of the cable rod, well, the rods for the rear passenger door latch. This was missing off the driver's side. So I'm going to rephrase that. The driver's side rear latch, this screw holds in a rod, and it basically holds it against the door instead of the clip popping out all the time. On the passenger side, the side that has been messed about with clearly, because the driver's side, look, I've got to say, I think I'm the first person to take the door cards off and mess around. It still had the security shields on the latches. On the passenger side, it's a different story. They were, well, the rear passenger one was missing, but it doesn't have this screw. So what I've done, I've tried to get identical screws, but I haven't. Now I'm going to see if these 2 bolts would actually fit into the fitting, and we'll go from there. They're self-tappings. But yeah, it's all been cleaned up and it's all ready to go back in. So yeah, I will do a bloggy update. As I say, that's sitting quite nicely. It's much better than before. That's nice as well. It's all been, it's glued there. It's a bit funny at the end there. I couldn't shoot it. I had to put the nozzle here and shoot it that way, because obviously you don't want contact cleaner, contact adhesive going over there. But it's managed to spread all around here, as long as I can get contact adhesive where my finger is, because, and a bit here, because this is the area that tends to sort of go a bit funny when the door handle is not on. It tends to get a bit loose, but it's all good. It looks much better than it did before. It's all been cleaned up as well, so we'll see how it goes. Right, as usual, I thought I'd follow this up. Now, I've put the driver's door card back together. That's all good, all fine. Now, the passenger door, I've put that on as well. I'll just get over this. Excuse me, I've got the lock halfway through the door. Okay, that's been done, and nice, and shuts fine. Perfect, that's all in. Now, the door handle, I'm going to come to this now. That door handle, I have repaired and made a glue sort of repair to the actual clip itself, the brass nut. Now, this door handle was nowhere near as bad as that one, and now opens. But obviously you got to use the technique of the thumb, but that door opens so nicely now, and it gives me confidence. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some silicone, so put some silicone spray all around there, okay, in there, to make sure that all this is freed up. I've freed up the mechanism so that there's least friction whatsoever, because I think that's half the problem. It's not just the fact that the door handles are rubbish, but the mechanism is very gummed up half the time, and it doesn't allow, and these door handles do not allow any compromise of any stiffness whatsoever. Any stiffness in the mechanism and you're thumping the handle, bang, comes off in your hand, and that's half the problem with these cars. Unfortunately, this door handle has got to come back off straight away. Broken, rubbish. That door handle, as far as I'm concerned, is beyond salvageable. It is going to have to be replaced. So my plan, if I can't get one in this silver, which is fine, what I will do is I'll get one door handle, good door handle, with a chrome handle, because I don't know whether these can be separated, to be honest. Whatever colour it is, I will just take the colour off, sand it back to good primer, and respray in Starlight Silver. I've got the paint, because I've got to do the paint on that handle there. So as far as I'm aware, the driver's door handle is very good. This door handle looks as if we've had a repair done, touch wood, good. That door handle, I'm not so unhappy about. I think that will be fine once it goes back on and repainted. This one, completely rubbish. So we've come to that conclusion. The window regs are really good. They're really, they sound really healthy. It's a bit more in a Rover. The Rover use like that mesh, that gear wheel, and a gear mechanism at the end of the motor, whereas on a lot of other cars it's cables, but this uses a gear system which needs lubrication. But I tell you what, that's really, really nice. It doesn't sort of give a little bit and then open the door. So I'm going to leave this here. This is as far as I go. I can't put the door cards back on at all. This mechanism, obviously, to put the actual door handles in, you need to take the latch away, because you need to put a socket through there. That's something you need to be aware of. Also, I found out that there was a screw missing here. This is a screw that I was talking about. It goes in that hole, and the screw expands the clip. I've got one screw for that side, but this side it was missing. But I've managed to find a couple of spare screws elsewhere. But as far as I'm concerned, it's all good. I mean, just no. This window is still a little bit on the jerky side at the end of its movement. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's a motor thing, but it's moving freely. It's all been cleaned up. It looks very messy on the window, but look at that. I've cleaned all around the strut area, the hinge areas, and it was absolutely filthy. I think you've seen how bad it is. I mean, on the other side, it's just as nice. Look at that, all nicely preserved. We've got the badge as well. We cleaned that up. 117 brake horsepower, very healthy for that size of engine, considering the engine's age. We've cleaned all there. We will obviously go over a bit of GT85 on the hinges and the check straps. Although I've got to say, the check strap for the driver's door has gone so lazy. I mean, it just won't. If it will close itself. might as well not have a check strap. I may look to replace that in the future, but it's really not necessary. But it's come up so well, even around the, or here as well. It's so nice to see. The only thing I'm really not happy about is, I don't know if this was factory, but that door handle's really nice. This, I don't know why it's gone like that. I've really struggled to clean that. I'll find something to clean it up with, or make it look a little bit less more obvious. But door cards back in, door cards, touch wood. But door handle, no, this is coming back out now, and what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to throw it in the bin, to be honest with you, until I get a new handle. Anyway, that is the update. The next video, we'll see what the next video is. I might just get a video of the car running. There are a couple of issues that I may have identified. I think the cam position sensor may be a bit funny, and one of the HT leads is showing a high level of resistance, and I think that might be why I'm getting a misfiring on number 4, because the actual code has come back up. It didn't come up when it was running, but it came up after I'd switched the ignition off. So a bit funny about that, but all good. The alarm seems to be silencing and not coming on, and there's no hazards. It's fantastic. Right guys, take care. I shall see you very soon.